Hello students, welcome to the Pole Science of Class 11 Arts, and today we will proceed with the power and functions of the political executive. Previously we read about the executive head, the executive council, then kinds of executive, and under kinds of executive we read about single executive and plural executive, its definition. So today we will understand about the power and functions of the political executive. So let us proceed then. Working of modern political constitutional system reveals that the political executive does not perform uniform functions in all states. Its role depends primarily on the nature and form of government. That means what? The role, functions and duties of the political executive is not same as in every state. They have different role in different states. That means what? That means wherever the necessity is there, or you can say if the necessity and the role is greater, then they will perform greater role in terms of the state. That means their role depends primarily on the nature and form of government. Whatever the form of government and nature of the role and duty is there, they will act accordingly. The political executive. Somewhere it may be less, somewhere it may be more. It depends on the nature also, and it depends on the form of government also which is present in that particular state. Generally, functions performed by political executive in different countries are the following. So here are some of the functions that are performed by the political executive, which are as follows. Number one is administrative functions. So the first and foremost roles or duties of the political executive is related to the functions related to the administrative sections. So under administrative functions, formulation of public policy, execution of law and appointment of public officials are the most important functions of a political executive. That means the duties or the roles related to the administrative sections or the administrative functions are: number one, it formulates public policy. Whatever the public policies are there, or whatever the policies related to the public are there, they formulate that, this political executive, under administrative functions. Number two, they also appoint public officials. This falls under administrative functions. So this, along with appointment of public officials, they also execute law. So these are the three main important functions or roles under administrative functions that are carried out by the political executive. Number one is the formulation of public policies. Number two is the execution of law. They execute law. And number three is they appoint public officials. So these three things are the most important functions or roles of the political executive under administrative functions. Now let's move to legislative powers. In a parliament setup, the cabinet is a part of the parliament. As such, most of the bills that are later transformed into laws. Clear? That means when this political executive works under the legislative powers, that means what? If we talk about legislative powers, through the legislative powers, many bills are passed in the parliament. Clear? So most of the bills that are passed in the parliament, if that are passed, that are later known as what? Laws. So the bills which they introduce in the parliament through the legislative powers, these bills when passed are later known as what? Laws. Clear? Under a presidential system, despite the enforcement of separation of powers, the president is regarded as legislator of his own rights, as well as by virtue of his influence over the legislators. So The former one under legislative power was under the parliamentary form of government, where the cabinet is a part of the government and the bills which are introduced in the parliament are later transformed or changed into are known as what? Laws. Clear? After that, but in a presidential system, despite the enforcement of separation of powers, the president is regarded as the legislator in his own right as well as by virtue of his influence over the legislature. So under presidential form of government, we know that president is all in all. He takes all decisions. Might be in presidential form of government there are separation of powers, but then also the final decision is taken by the president. So this falls under legislative powers, and the roles related to political executive are different. We are reading about the role or functions of the political executive in different countries. So we have taken examples of United States of America also, and we have taken example of India also under legislative powers. After that comes financial powers. In most of the states, the political executive prepares annual budget in the form of demands for grants and proposal for raising funds. Clear? So under number 3 head is the financial powers that the political executive functions. So under these financial powers, in almost all the states, the political executive does what? Prepares annual budget in the form of demands for grants and proposal for raising funds. So the political executive have the functions of preparing annual budget once in a year, and that by preparing that annual budget, they will demand for what? They will sanction grants and proposals for raising funds. That means these are the obligations, these are the eligibility according to which they will raise funds, and for raising funds they need to prepare annual budget and make demands for grants and proposals. If grants and proposals are implemented, then it will make a way for raising funds. This is under financial powers. Now under judicial powers, the head of the state can normally exercise some judicial powers. He or she appoints the judges of the superior courts, but they can't be removed at his discretion. So the fourth head under which the political executive functions is the judicial power. So under this head, the head of the state can normally exercise some judicial power. That means political executive, they appoints judges of superior courts. Superior courts means high courts. Clear? So superior court judges are appointed by this political executive, but remember that they can only appoint the judges, but they cannot remove the judges according to their will. Clear? That means what? They have the power to appoint but don't have the power to remove. Clear? So we have come to the end of the topic and this chapter also, that is executive. And today in the concluding part, we read about the various functions and the powers of the political executive, starting from the administrative functions under which they formulate public policy, they execute law, and they appoint public officials. Under legislative powers, they introduced most of the bills which are later transformed into laws. Under financial powers, they prepare annual budget, and in lieu of annual budget, they make grants and proposals which is used for raising funds. And last but not the least, under judicial powers, they have the power to appoint judges of the superior court, but remember, they don't have the power to remove those judges that they have appointed at their own discretion. Clear? So regarding this chapter executive, we have understood about executive its kinds and types. Then we have read about executive head and executive council. Then lastly we read about the powers and functions of the political executive, where we read about the powers and functions related to administration, legislation, finance and judicial. So with this we have come to the end of this chapter and the topic. I hope that you have understood the topic. With that, I will wind up today's lesson. Thank you.